Morning YouTube, Pete here. Just out on Himmy. It was pouring rain this morning, but I wanted to get out on the bike. I haven't been out much this week on the bike, so I thought I'd bring Himmy out down some lanes, and thought I'd bring you along with me. I'm actually going over to a place called Thor Motorcycles, and they're primarily, get it right, an Indian dealer, but they do deal in the Benelli, and I understand they do Vogue as well, and Lex Moto and a few other mates. I was going to have a look at the Benelli. I've been watching Western Super Motor Vlog, and I quite like the look of that Benelli, and I'm not saying I'm going to get one. I'm just going to have a look over there, have a look at it. So this should be fun on these lanes. I've got to be a bit careful. I've got new tyres on, and I'm on tarmac, but it's covered in crap really, so we can probably get some water down here as well. There's a few places where the road floods a bit, so we'll see what it's like. But in between the rain showers, it's quite nice. It's a little bit. I took the dog out for a walk this morning, a bit of a chill in the air. It's certainly a bit autumnal, but when the sun comes out, it gets quite warm. So which makes it a little bit awkward to what you're going to wear. I popped down Aldi's this morning as well. Got some merino wool t-shirt. And some waterproof socks. So I was going to buy the ones off. There's a famous mate who do the waterproof socks, which I can't think of the brand name offhand, which I know are good, but they're quite a lot of money, 30-40 quid. Well, Aldi's are doing waterproof socks, and they look okay. I mean, we'll see. I bought one pair just to see what they're like, really, for £9.99. So there's quite a significant saving. So here we go, look where the road gets a bit flooded. So I thought I'd buy a pair and give them a go. I was supposed to be away this weekend, but the event got cancelled, so that's not happening. So also my wife has got a bit of a bad knee and can't take the dog very far, so I'm on dog walking duties as well. So proves a bit difficult to get out, although I can normally get out for a few hours, so depending on the weather I'm hoping to get out over the weekend. I mean, if you look at this road, I mean, you can't really see it on the video, it's nothing more really than a track, but it's actually a tarmac road, although it goes through a farmyard. So I've just been watching Saddlebags this morning on one of his midweek mutterings. He's out on Ernie's birthday. I can't believe he took Ernie out in the mud on his birthday. Oh, I tell you what. Bet he stays in the dry in this weather. And I'm in the market for a new pair of waterproof, a new pair of sort of winter trousers. So any bikers out there recommend a decent pair of trousers that are reasonably waterproof and have got a bit of a liner on them as well. Oh, missed my gear there. Yeah, this little lane takes us to a place called Himalayan where we've been before. It's sort of on the edge of Bodmin Moor really, basically. Himmy's behaving, so that's good news. 90% of the time when I come out on Himalayan, it's a sound bike. Just a bit quirky really, and once you get used to those quirks you're fine. I do like coming along these lanes. They're quiet, there's no traffic, well, very little traffic. You meet the odd tractor and the odd vehicle, of course you do, but it's just nice. There's plenty of things to look at and see and find, and I just find this sort of motorcycling really good at my age now. I don't want to go far. I don't really want to sit there on a dual carriageway on a motorway blipping along at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour. We can't go over the speed limit, can we now? But I think my days of doing that are long gone, really, to be honest. I've got a bit of a arthritis. I get a few problems in my back and hip, so which comes with age, and it happens to us all, I'm afraid. You know, I played rugby for 30 odd years, probably a bit longer than that, and I've had physical jobs as well in the past, so they've taken a toll on the old body, really. So I like a bit more of a genteel pace now. So the Himalayan and Betty sort of suits me for my motorcycling, although it's still I'm still sort of thinking of, you know, another bike possibly. I've got the BMW, which is a little bit of a project, and yeah, it's coming on quite well. It seems alright. Like I've had it up and running. I'm waiting for a few parts to arrive, and without spending a load of money, and then I'm going to hopefully start it up and get it running half decent, and then I'm going to decide basically where I'll go from there. I'll probably then give it a good service. I think one of the fork seals could be weeping a bit, so I'll probably do that, do the fork seals, oil filters, plugs, possibly a little bit more, clean up the frame and clean up a few bits while I've got all the pannier, while I've got all the fairing and stuff off it. Give it a test ride, get an MOT on it, and then I'll decide what to do. I've had a GS before, GS 650, which I used to use for commuting. That was a decent bike. Used it all through a winter. But I don't know. There's a few things I'd like to do. I'd like to get to the Dragon Rally next year, early part of next year. I meant to go last year, but Himalayan broke down on me on the way. So hopefully we'll get there for next year. Hopefully the wife's knee will be a bit better as well, so I can do a bit of touring. That's what I want to do. This is normally flooded through here, so it's not too bad. The trouble is you're riding over mud and water and God knows what, and you just it is pretty much like being off-road, as you can see. I think I might have a little bit the front tyre on this bike, because it's a little bit it feels very light on the front. I know I took it into the garage and he put 2 new tyres, and I haven't checked the pressures he's put into them, to be honest, so a bit naughty on my part, I know. So I think I'll have to make sure I check the pressures on the tyres. Famous last words so far this morning. I've not met another vehicle on the road coming this way. You wait, I'll go around this corner and meet a tractor and trailer. Nice place for sale there on the right. So we're not far away from Bodmin now. We're sort of heading towards Bodmin, and a lot of people give Bodmin a bad rep, probably because it had a madhouse years ago. It's got the prison. Yeah, like I say, it gets a little bit of a bad rep, but there's some beautiful places around the edges of Bodmin, and in Bodmin some beautiful houses actually. I deliver there quite a lot of them with the old supermarket deliveries, so yeah, nothing wrong with Bodmin. There's a bit of wood there on the side of the road there. Might have to come over here tonight in the car and pick that up. Good up there, the dapple grey there. He was got excited. It's funny, you know, I always pick my dog poo up. Well, generally, if it's unless I'm out in the woods and the countryside, I don't bother so much then. And everybody kicks off about dog poo, but no one worries about horses pooing, and no one bothers about cats pooing. Now, each to their own. I don't particularly like cats, but you know, if you want to have cats, fine. But when they come in my garden and poo everywhere, it's not very nice. And I don't moan about it. Well, I'm moaning now. And it's like horses. They poo everywhere, don't they? No one moans about that. All over the roads, all over the paths. All shit everywhere. Years ago, people used to collect that and put it on the roses. Don't seem to bother doing that these days. But if I, God forbid, I let my dog poo at the side of the road, I personally don't actually see any problem if you kick it in. My old man used to kick the poo in the duck gutter. He didn't pick it up. Beautiful views across there, heading across to the north coast. Where those wind farms are is part of the Saints Trail, and I've walked, which starts in Padstow and goes right the way across to Foy. And I've actually walked the Saints Trail. It's about 27 miles. I've done it in two sections. I didn't have a camp out that time. I walked 2/3, wife picked me up, and then I walked the last bit of the following day. But it's a lovely walk, beautiful walk across there. Off-road most of it, although you do come a little bit just down the road here a little bit. So the A30 is just to my right, so I think this will bring us out near Lanivet or somewhere like that. Oh yeah, I know where we are. Yeah, I think when you get a Himalayan, you have to sort of play around with the tick over a little bit and adjust a few things, because it's done for the old emissions so tightly that you often get that stalling problem. And I've had it. It's not so bad now. I've adjusted mine. It still happens from time to time, but it's not as bad now. Anyway, my battery's getting a bit low on here, so what I'm going to have to do is I'll perhaps bring you back a bit later on and perhaps have a look around Thor motorcycles and stuff like that, so once I've changed the battery. So I'll speak to you all in a bit.